Hey guys, welcome back to this month's monthly favourites. So, today I'm going to talk to you about a book, this one. I'm going to talk to you about a TV series, and also a podcast series. If you're new here, my name is Brendan. I'm a recovering accountant based here in London, and I help millennials navigate busy lives and make sure that work doesn't suck. But each month, I go through and summarise my favourite things, and this month, I'm going to talk to you about the book, the series, and the podcast series. So with that, let's dive straight in. The book I want to talk to you about is called The Happiest Man on Earth. This one. Written by a gentleman called Eddie Yaku. It documents his ultimately incredible and quite fascinating story about evading the Nazis and overcoming concentration camps and really surviving and learning how to take every day as it comes. I actually was quite dumbstruck when reading it. It was recommended to me by my sister-in-law, so big shout out to you, Catherine, thank you very much, and thanks to Mum, it was on the shelf, so I didn't even have to go to Amazon to buy it, which was always a win. It's not a very big book, it's only, let's have a look, a couple of hundred pages long. But Eddie's story is fascinating, and for somebody that has grown up without knowing what war is like, it is a bit disconcerting. It's quite hard sometimes to really comprehend what the struggles and the challenges that Eddie and his family went through. Being a Jew in Germany over the Second World War, the strife and struggles that he and many others went through is properly mind-blowing. To talk about highs when he and his family managed to escape from Germany, to the lows of actually being taken back to Germany and meeting his parents and his family at concentration camps only to be separated between male and female, and those that were going to survive and those that were taken off to the gas chambers is almost unfathomable. Anyway, you know what I mean. It just is properly mind-blowing. Even now, it's actually making hairs on the back of my hands and the back of my neck stand up just thinking about it. But it's written in such a good way that just makes you appreciate everything that he went through, but also how he's managed to turn it all around and be grateful and happy. The stories that he talks around in being reunited with his friends and learning how to just accept every day and be grateful for everything that's happened is truly staggering. One of the people that he did remind me of was actually Nelson Mandela. By going through all this persecution, but letting it go and healing is just incredible. I know I've used the word incredible a few times because, to be quite honest, there aren't many other words that can describe what they've been through. So I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'll put a link in the description below to get hold of The Happiest Man on Earth, and I would highly recommend that you have a read. It won't take very long, but it will just put everything into perspective, and I think you will find it fascinating. And with that, let's dive into the second one, which is a TV series called Devils. Set in a fictional investment bank based here in London in Canary Wharf around the 2011 mark. It stars Patrick Dempsey as Dominic Morgan, and the other lead character is a chap called Massimo Ruggiero. All around the power struggles between Dominic Morgan as the chief executive looking for an heir apparent, and that's where Massimo comes into play. There's some really dirty tactics that go on and some really dodgy dealings. It's a fascinating series, and I'm sure in the writing, the research that went into how an investment bank operates was pulled through. It's only a single series at the moment, so I hope that they will commission a second one, but it is excellent viewing, especially if you like Billions or Succession. Now, to be quite honest, Billions and Succession are two of my favourite series ever, and I can't wait for the next series of those to come out. But Devils is a great addition to this sort of investment banking, finance genre. As I said, it's set out over 10 episodes, charting the course of the CEO picking his heir apparent to help become deputy CEO and drive the investment bank forwards. But it is clouded in mystery, intrigue, bit of backstabbing, some death, and some quite dodgy dealings. I really enjoyed it. I think some of the reviews that you see online and from the TV papers don't quite say it's up to scratch, but I don't agree with that, to be honest. It was very, very easy watching, and having worked a little bit in the financial industry, although not in the investment banking world that they talk about, it was pretty fascinating. So if you have Sky or any other ability to watch your TV series, I would go and check it out. And with that, that takes us on to number 3, which is the podcast Sneakernomics. It appeared on BBC Sounds when I was listening to another one, and I was fascinated by it because what can you learn about sneakers? Or as they say elsewhere, trainers. Or you could be in the States talking about kicks. But that's exactly the point. The podcast goes into the backstory of how sneakers, trainers, kicks, etc. came about. How they started to change the world of sport, how they got into sponsorship, how it actually started in fashion and, with endorsements by pop groups, for example. Did you know that the trainer Veja is sustainable and has grown rapidly without any advertising at all? It's all ethically sourced from materials within Brazil, so the natural rubber, the natural cottons, all with a view of creating an ethical trainer, much in the same way that Tom's gives back a pair of trainers, or a pair of shoes, for every Tom's that are sold. Veja have set up and gone with a sustainability route, which I think is a great way to go, especially if they've grown so well without any advertising at all. It also dives into the story about Air Jordans, Dassler Brothers, which gave offshoots to both Adidas and Puma, Nike and Phil Knight and the running shoe scenarios and their battle with Onitsuka Tiger, even delving into a UK brand called Reebok and how that name came about. It's a very slickly produced pod series, and I would highly recommend it. I whistled through it actually very, very quickly, and it was a bit of a shame that there isn't a second series or it isn't longer, but I learnt a great deal. And if you do like your trainers or treads or sneakers or kicks or whatever you call them, I think you'll find this really interesting. But that's it. They're the 3 things that I've been looking at this month. So it's the book, The Happiest Man on Earth, the TV series, Devils, and number 3 is the podcast series, Sneakernomics. So with that, my name is Brendan. If you like these, please do check out this video here where I talk about my other monthly favourites. I think you'll find it really interesting. And with that, I'll catch you all in the next video. Cheers.